Rick, let's just jump right into this, bro. This season has been it's been incredible. You're 7-2, ranked 17th. I understand that we're sitting at a sweet spot in November where back in the day when you were on Coach McCartney's staff and then me playing for Coach Barnett, all those red letter games in November and everything in November means something, and it's back now in Boulder in that regard. Just talk about this year a little bit, bro, and how awesome it's been. Just watching the growth of this football team going from North Dakota State in the opener to today, getting ready for Utah tomorrow afternoon.
Yeah. Look, I think the first thing I say is, one, thanks for having me on. It's great to have some Buffs with me, and particularly one that played here. And it's always meaningful for our former student athletes to be engaged. And Matt, we appreciate what you do. But, look, being relevant in November means something. And it's been a while since we've been relevant in November. And when we're sitting here at 17th in the country and 7-2, and all we're talking about is what's next, we own our own destiny. That's where the focus has got to be. Starting off with North Dakota State, look, they haven't lost a game since that game. And that was a quality opponent. And I hate to give kudos to Colorado State, but I will. They're a good football team. They're a good football team. They're doing really well. They played tonight, and that was a really good win for us. We didn't particularly play well at Nebraska. They beat us. Kudos to them. And look, I'd love to play them every year. I think that rivalry is good for us, and it's good for them. And then we get into the conference season, and we have some good wins. I'd say the Kansas State game was probably a bad loss because we had even though they're a great team, and they're ranked as well. Yeah, they're ranked right ahead of us, but we had them and we let it go. But what I found in these guys is they're resilient. We started out against Texas Tech last week, and that first quarter, I was like, oh my goodness, let's throw some water in their face and wake them up. But after that quarter, we got to business. It got a little sloppy at the end, but we got to business, and we beat a really, really good team in an incredibly tough environment, and we beat them by 14 points. And then we go to Arizona, and we beat them at their place, a tough environment. They sold it out. And so we're playing really good on the road. But what I see in this team is they don't give up. They don't stop. If something's going wrong, they get it fixed. I mean, our coordinators have made great adjustments during the game, during the games that we played. I love our coaching staff. I like our players. We've got good depth. We've got great skill people. We got the best player that I've ever witnessed in Travis Hunter that goes both ways. Amen. And Shedeur Sanders is the best quarterback in the country. And, it bothers me every time they come out with these Heisman conversations and Shedeur's not in it because he should be. But I think in some ways, and I'm saying this with all respect, Travis overshadows because Travis plays both sides of the ball. They don't throw at him very much. And the one time they threw at him at Texas Tech, he leaps up in the air. I've never seen anybody got that.
Show that picture, Bailey. Show that picture real quick. The picture of him picking that ball off, Rick.
Oh, my God.
He's 9 feet in the air, bro. I've never seen. Look at that.
He's higher than that. Look at that vertical right there.
Unbelievable.
Look, the last time I saw a player do that was Barry Sanders. They're playing here in Boulder, and they're on the goal line. They hand the ball to him, and he soars over the top of all of our line.
That's an unbelievable picture from Sports Illustrated too, where he's flying over the top of like Ted Johnson and those guys.
Oh yeah. And look, I mean, I like, people don't know who Gumby is anymore, but Gumby was this toy that used to bend in a bunch of different ways. And Gumby. And last year, when I really thought, man, this guy's special, was the first game I saw him play, and that was TCU on the road. And there was a play in that game where he's out here playing man-to-man on his guy out of the corner of his eye to the left. He sees the quarterback look over there. He comes back and gets that. I'm like, who does that kind of stuff? Yeah. So, look, I love our team. I love where we're going. I love the culture that Coach Prime has created. These players love playing for him and for all the coaching staff. And I just think that we've got something special here, but we've got to focus on this thing day to day. And that's what we're doing. We're really happy with where we are. but we know if we take care of business, we can be in a place that we haven't been in a long, long time.
Man, that's super exciting. You got me going over here, Rick.
Well, I'm fired up now.
Man, I'm ready to go. I can't wait to see you tomorrow. I'm going to tackle you on the field. So, look, let's stay on Travis and Shedeur.
Yep.
I know in 1987 you were hired by Coach Mack as a recruiting coordinator up there, and then you were an assistant AD in 89. You stayed till 93? 91. So you were there for the national title runs and everything. You saw some special teams and some special players. Have you ever seen a team that has two guys like this? It's almost like Shedeur's generational, and Travis, I mean, you just elaborated on Travis, but I played both ways in the NFL. I've never seen anything like Travis Hunter in my entire life.
Yeah.
Like they are generational talents fighting for the Heisman on the same team while they're both fighting to go win the Big 12. It's such an incredible dynamic.
Yeah, it really is. And you ask if we've ever had this 1-2 duo, and I would say that Darian Hagan, on those teams, and if you go back to some of those clips, his relationship with Eric Bieniemy and J.J. Flanagan and some of the pitches and things that they did. I mean, you think about that team that we had back then. I mean, we had the most talent in the country.
So loaded.
And that was an exciting time, but there's not a duo that we've had. I mean, look, you can go back to 1994 when you had Cordell Stewart, and I got to tell you a story about Cordell, but Cordell Stewart and Rashaan Salaam, both of them were Heisman candidates, and it was that same kind of vibe. And Cordell had a great year, could have been the Heisman Trophy winner, and sometimes when you have two, they take votes from each other, right?
Yeah.
But man, you talk about a duo there. Cordell and Rashaan, and that was special. But I think you're seeing the same thing today. But again, I used to think, and all respect to Deon Figures, he was the best defensive back I ever recruited until I saw Travis. I didn't recruit him, but until I saw Travis, and Deon Figures is going in to the College Football Hall of Fame this December.
And Thorpe Award winner, and I'm sure Travis is going down that road as well. With the Thorpe going to be on his shelf pretty soon. And I personally believe this. I've been saying this forever, but I think he's the Heisman winner this year, and I think Shedeur is going to be in New York with him. I know you believe that as well. The second Heisman Trophy winner potentially in Colorado history there to be up there in the Dow War with another trophy next to Rashaan. Saw this commercial, like little clip they put out on Colorado's Instagram and Twitter page.
Yep.
Man, that's I'm telling you that the Heisman campaign for 12 and 2 is on full bore right now, is it not?
Yeah, it is. And look, our social and digital media people, along with Well Off Media and some of the other guys, they just do a great job of capturing what we're doing, who we are, and bring those highlights out. And just like this thing you're showing right there. I mean, that gets me fired up.
Well, let me ask you, you brought up Well Off, and we have Deion Sanders Jr. on the show all the time. Bucky's our guy. And I think that, your openness to letting the social media come in and be part of the growth of the program under Coach Prime, and the ability for you to see the future where other people could not, both with hiring Coach Prime and also letting his team do what they do and take over in the most positive way humanly possible. Talk about the power of social media and what you've seen from Well Off, and not only that, but just the integration between that and then Coach Prime and what he brings. Man, it's pretty crazy. I think they're revolutionizing college football here a little bit.
Well, I think so too. And if you go back to when I was here in the 80s, and maybe even when you were being recruited, it was all about handwritten notes. That was the only way you could get an advantage on anybody. But today, nobody does it better than Coach Prime. Nobody knows social digital media than Coach Prime. He can recruit to that. He sends out messages every day, and that inspires people. He gets it. I mean, he could do a home visit by doing FaceTime. I would have never envisioned that. And he's at the forefront of that, and nobody does it as well as he does. The one that's closest is probably Lane Kiffin, because he's done a great job down there, but nobody does it like Coach Prime. And our digital and social media teams are the best in the biz. And then when you bring in Well Off and Bucky and all the others that are around our program, We're visible every day, every minute of the day, maybe sometimes too many minutes of the day, but it's all good stuff, right? And
Yeah.
so, and look, and the coach can call a recruit and be on FaceTime, and they can and bring his parents on, and I mean, all that stuff is revolutionary in my opinion, and plus it saves us money in our budget because we don't have to pay for him to go out and recruit.
Yeah, I mean, everybody's coming to him. It's a phenomenon like I have rarely seen. Being in the business I'm in and placing guys and recruiting and knowing so many coaches and the way that they do things, usually coaches have to go pound the pavement. It seems like the pavement's being pounded on the way to Boulder to come see Coach Prime. Have you ever seen a coach have this kind of gravity pull? I mean, you were there with Coach Mack when he was building that monster that he had in Boulder for so long before he handed the keys off to Neuheisel. What Coach Prime is doing in Boulder, from not only a cultural standpoint, a community standpoint, recruiting, everything, the gravity towards this man and towards our program right now. Have you ever seen anything like it before?
No, I haven't. You know, and there's good and bad to that, right? And we say that all the time. You know, and Coach and I talk about that all the time. You know, there's no middle ground with Coach. You love him or you hate him. That's just how it is. The simplest thing can turn into the worst thing because people loves to pile on when they can pile on. But at the same time, when something's really good, it becomes great because it's Deion. And he has that kind of impact. And look, I mean, and I know, Matt, you know him. People don't know him. Man, is he really a good human being.
Oh, he's an incredible man.
And that's what people don't understand. And if you look at some of the things like he does, so I'll give you one example. You know, this young man was being bullied at his school. Coach found out about it. He brings this young man and his parents to practice. The guys embrace him. They bring him back to the school. They're taking pictures with some of our, like Shedeur and Jordan Seaton and some of these other guys that are there. That's the kind of thing that he does, and people don't see that. They don't give him enough credit for that. But if you think about it, our GPA has never been better since Coach Prime's been here. Academics are really important to him, and if you don't play academics, you don't play in the game. That's just how it is. And he's created that culture, and the guys understand it and know it. He wants them to graduate. He wants to set them up for the rest of their life. And I think they look at him as a father figure because he does really care. And you know, Matt, as well as anybody, you're going to play for a coach at a high level if you know they care. Not just about winning, but care about you.